Oh, baby!
That's weird.
Ow! My brain hit my head. It's where I can practice all my Pilates. So, this is going to be our van boat. Well, you might be wondering where this beautiful and very humble couple came from. Back in 2019, we spent the year building out our schoolie. After the build was done, we sold our house and traveled for a full year. Following that year of travel, we started to crave building again and getting something 4x4.
So we decided how far left and right we want these. Now I just need to center them. So we're gonna keep them in these position. So the moonroof is as far back as possible, and this sits in between that side upper window and this side upper window, and that's how we like it. So now I just need to left and right center these, and then we'll go from there, really. I'm actually going to make a mark there. So now I should be square because I'll be square this direction. And now what I'll do is I actually always don't trust my measurements, and I always look with my eyes too. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just take a tape measure from center and measure out sideways to make sure I'm center. Okay, I think that's pretty darn good. How crazy is that?
It looks amazing. So our bed's right underneath the sunroof. We are gonna have like full blackout shades insulated. That way if the sun's beating down, obviously we don't want that. This is for the fan, pretty centered in the van. It actually is pretty much half in line with the window on this side and half in line on that side. These windows are staggered just because we wanted this right above the door because there's going to be overhead shelving all the way across, and then we have some like long cabinet here, so that window had to go back a bit. Holy dang. Holy shit. Lance took a quick hose bath because poor man was dying. What do you think, babe?
Oh, it's so cool. I haven't seen it from the bottom side. I've only seen it from the top.
Time to put the awning up.
Yeah, so I think what we're gonna do today is actually I'm gonna go around with my Sharpie right now and mark any high points, well, I guess low points on the roof, and I'm gonna come through and shave it down. So like up here, for instance, this corner here and the other corner are a little too low, so the middle floats. So I'm gonna shave down the parts that are touching so everything touches all the way around. Then we'll set it down and get that all situated, and then I'll put the awning up.
So we're fully mounting the roof?
We're gonna keep it like this because if we put in a ton of screws, we'll have to take them out to when we do this, when we Bondo it and finish that.
Gotcha, so we're just
we're gonna leave in the same amount of screws, but I'm just gonna make sure the roof is set correctly so we don't ever have to pick it up again. We're gonna put some silicone around. I'm gonna take these bolts off right now and then hold them up, bring this up and see how it fits and how it looks, and also see if these brackets will work, which I'm not so sure about. I mean, I need to hold it up there to see, just get a general reference for what's going on. I think what I might end up doing is just putting one long like piece of angle, like a 2" by 2" angle iron from there all the way across, and then I can go up there and screw it down, and then on the inside I'm gonna make some like frames that will be attached to the actual van roof to support the fiberglass roof, because this thing's pretty heavy. It's like 100-something pounds.
And when it catches wind or...
Right, and that's what I'm worried about, is if we have the awning out and a random wind gust comes and rips our roof off.
And this one's pretty cool. It's actually
electric.
Yeah, so it all goes out by a button.
This came with the van, so it's got wires for electric, and then on the bottom here, these are lights. It's like a little light strip.
And it's Dometic, right? Is
yeah.
That the side?
So I found out that this back piece could come off.
That's nice.
Which is cool because I could mount it with this like 10-pound piece rather than that 120-pound piece.
How does that slip on?
It's kind of like a cleat. This part here, slides up, and then there's like a little, like it pivots in here like this, and then you just screw in the bottom, so it has to pivot to come out, like tilt, and then it'll come out. So I'm thinking we want it like that.
Are you saying you want it centered? Because that's not centered.
Oh, well, I wasn't looking at that. I like it on that lip, and then what I was thinking is I could drill holes down here, screw in
to supports underneath
through here that way, and then I'll make brackets that sit on top so we can screw down as well. We should set it all the way back. I think we should honestly have it where it attaches to our split piece here. So like that right there.
Okay.
Just so that way it is like support almost.
That's gonna come about like right here with this door though.
Does it look weird?
I think it looks weird. I think we should have this, because this is just our major walking area.
So that is bigger.
Oh.
Okay, so right there is where it'll end, and then end right here.
That looks fine. That's over the door.
So I took a little piece of the oil filter box here, and I'm gonna have my lovely assistant. What we're gonna do,
I like how you always say lovely assistant.
we're gonna just mark this roof.
No problem.
I made this little silhouette here, and it sits like that. So now Allie's gonna hold up the bracket, and we're gonna get the bracket square here, and then I'm gonna just trace the bracket, and then I can make it square off of there. So I have a template that perfectly matches this, so that way I can cut that out of metal. Okay, you can just set that back up there. So we traced that side there. Now I can cut it out. That's basically gonna sit like that. So there's our little bracket. So now what I know is that I can make some marks on this, on where we'll do our flats. So that way I can put bracket there that mounts all the way across. So I made a couple notes for myself on here so that way I don't get this all flipped around. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do a little designing and see how I want to make these mount to that and make a piece go across. So I'm just tracing our template out, and I'll take a saw. So 2, 4, 5, and then I need one more, which I was trying to get on, but it's a very awkward shape. Oh look, I planned that. Okay, so I just taped up this template. Looks good. I went and fit it up, so this template will sit. I'll trace those holes on the back side, but they'll sit like that. So I just need to make two more. Well, actually out of metal though, so there'll be one there, there, and there. I put my metal blade on here. So I've got my metal blade on my just circular saw, and I have transferred all of those weird swoopies here. So I'll just go ahead and cut this all out with my metal blade. This is just 2-inch here, so I'll have 2-inch strap. And then these here, I need to find some plate to make that out of. It might end up just being 2-inch strap up here too.
I think it looks good.
I think it's tilted a bit back, but we could always just put some washers and shim it so it sits forward. Oh yeah!
That looks great. So 2 more to go?
2 more to go. This is the back to our electric awning here, and we decided we want to go with this electric awning. At first we were going to do a different one, but we already have it, so we're going to go with it. So the nice thing is this plate came off, so I didn't have to haul that thing up and down the van constantly. So now what we're going to do is bring it up there to where we want, drill out these holes here through the fiberglass, and then we have these bolts that go through. So for right now it's going to be bolted just to the fiberglass, but I will be building a like a structure on the inside to support this as well, because we do not want this to catch wind and rip it out of the fiberglass. We're going to make sure that doesn't happen by making a structure. Lucky winner. pretty darn heavy.
Hook up just 2 wires to it to put it out.
Yeah, I plan on it. Wait, you think we go through all this and not do a little test?
Oh my goodness.
6 months later.
Is that as far as it goes?
Yep.
Did you see the awning? I did. It's looking good. It looks a little wonky from over here though. Oh yeah. Look at this fan or something.
Oh, it looks really wonky. That's weird.
That's way too high. It should be like right.
Well, I know.
Oh, okay.
1 minute, 37 seconds later.
So Lance figured out some adjustment screws on each one. Look at that. Beautiful. Big win today and yesterday, babe.
For real.
Things finally look like they're changing.
I know. So much. Adding those big stuff makes a big difference.
So Lance is working under the shade of the awning. Huge win there. He just installed this motion sensor light. We're doing one on both of the front doors on each side. Most likely the place people might try to break in at night, and it can flash them.
So if you're coming here to tamper with the door, we'll turn on. Yeah. And that'll be wired permanently. So that will just always be on. There is a way to turn, we'll have a way to turn it off.
That way if we're in the city or something, we don't want it flashing at a time people walking by. Then he's installing a light there, and on the other side, we're waiting for our
mini split.
So we're gonna wait on doing a few of the things.
Yeah, so if you don't know what a mini split is, it's an AC unit. A lot of bus people put mini splits on. Vans, people usually do rooftop units, but they're very inefficient, and we want to be able to run our AC off of our solar, which should be doable with this mini split we purchased. However, it got a big separate box that creates the AC, and we have to mount that outside somewhere. So we're thinking on the roof in the back, like not on the roof, but like
I'll show him.
I'll just walk around. And then the actual unit where the air would blow out will be right on the other side of that. So I'm just taking a pencil and marking center. I did a center mark here, so like just a cross from top and then in between. I'm gonna drill a hole for the wire. Now, you're not seeing me put any silicone or butyl tape or anything on these because they're not permanently mounted right now. Of course, we're gonna paint this topper, and everything is gonna need to come off. So these windows aren't sealed on right now either because they're gonna need to come out. That's partially why we're doing all the exterior right now, is we decided that we wanna get everything that needs wiring put on, and then we will run the wiring for that on the inside, just temporarily. And then we'll take everything off, paint it all, and then we'll put everything back on permanently, and then we'll seal it and all that. And the also really nice thing about not having interior done is I can drill wherever I want. I'm not worried that I'm gonna go through a cabinet or something like that. So I always like to line up one side and then screw it in and then line it up and get the other hole in. And I actually do this for everything, like hanging mirrors, pictures, whatever. Especially if you're only one person, it really helps with holding things. That looks good.
Sorry, Lance and I are being silly and not showing you guys the process. But Lance just finished up the step and the rock sliders.
Yeah, so those rock sliders came with the van as well. They're just pre-made, but they had like another bar underneath them and they were super chunky, so I cut them all up, diced them up, added this part here, as I'm sure you saw in a previous episode, and then I made this step, and I just now finished the step, plated it here, We're gonna actually cover all of this in like a boat rubber matting. So Allie had an amazing idea, and that's what the idea was, I guess.
All throughout will be like a rubber matting, and then that'll be nice because obviously we're painting everything, but metal gets hot no matter what, so that rubber matting will be nice to step on, especially for the dogs because they're always barefoot.
From here down will actually all be Rhino-Line. So we have some Rhino-Liner, and that's why you've seen the bottom of the van sanded for so long, is because we're gonna Rhino-Line all that, and then from here up we have chosen a color. We're very excited. It's not the same color. It's a different color. I'm not gonna tell you what. You'll have to just sit tight.
So where's the stoppers at on these, babe? How'd you do that?
I blended them in, but basically behind here, there's...
In the thingy?
I just put a piece of metal so that way the back of this just can't go farther enough. And I actually have it where it's slightly inverted up like this, because I imagine over time that metal will wear out. So, and when you step on it. So let me show you how you step on up now. You just whoop. So without the step, you'd have to go like that. And now with the step, I mean, you can have the 3 steps, but...
That is so pumped.
I mean, you can do.
Lance, me, and Notch could have done without that step. A, it's more comfortable, but B, Hank couldn't get in without the step. So now, all the fan band can get in, and then it'll sit like that while we're driving, moving.
Yeah. And I mean, and it can also be a wider step like this. So whenever, let's say, we just pull over somewhere real quick, rather than having to flip the step out, you can just now step on it like that. Oh, honey. We're gonna put some foam there for sure.
My brain hit my head. It's where I can practice all my Pilates. And this literally, we talked about this step for like a full day trying to figure out how to make it to where it was easy and didn't interfere with anything. And I think it's the perfect width. Hank's gonna be super happy. And honestly, like the van is level right now, but we've parked on hills sometimes where it's a leap to get in. The van still doesn't start, but it's going.
Waiting for parts still. Next is stiffening the floor.
Next is waiting for a boat propeller. You know, we haven't really talked about the boat. Should we bring them over to the boat?
Sure.
I haven't talked about the boat at all. We'll do a quick introduction because this is a new part of our lives. Were we planning on getting a boat? Absolutely not. Did it kind of fall into our laps? I think we could say that. When we moved to Montana in March to build out the van, we saw this boat sitting next to Walmart for months. And we were confused on why it was sitting there. We're confused on why it hasn't been stolen yet. And we would see this boat at least once a week and always talk about owning a boat, how much we wish we own a boat, and how expensive they are. Boats are extremely expensive, especially nice boats. Actually, no, even shitty boats are really expensive. So we had no expectations of anything happening with this boat. And then come about 3 weeks ago, we saw a for sale sign on it. I called, Lance is joking around, we're both joking around that if it's for $5,000, we're buying it. No questions asked. Starting bid was $5,000. We ended up putting a little bit over the bid, won the boat from a loan company. They had repoed it from someone, and now we own a boat. So this is going to be our van boat, the boat.
And we do plan on putting a wrap job on it to match the van.
Possibly.
Possibly.
We're talking about it. As we're updating you with the boat, we should probably update you with a few other things. Our new website is out, so if you want to look at that, make sure to check the description below. You can read a bit more about us and see kind of what we have going on. Really, you need to get up as I'm doing this. I've been trying to get you up for the last hour, dude. Okay. And of course, we have other social media, so if you're not always on YouTube, you can check us out on Instagram and TikTok. I have all of those linked in the description below. And as always, if you don't hear it enough, we really, really thank you for watching, for partaking, for commenting, for engaging, for giving us advice. Any way that you interact, even just by viewing our videos, is absolutely amazing. So keep commenting, keep talking to us. YouTube is honestly our favorite platform out of any social media, and the support that you guys give us gives us the confidence to keep going on it. So thank you so much, and if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe, and we will see you on the next video.